Okay, what's up, people? It's your guy, Dynamics, and I'm here with another Boss Reactions once again. All right, so today I got some good ones. I got one from Nuke's Top 5, and the other one is from Mr. Ballin' as usual. So I hope you like this one. I believe this one is, let me just check real fast to make sure I got the right videos. Okay, I got one from Nuke's Top 5, Scary Ghost Videos to Cause Bug Eyes. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And we got another one here from Mr. Ballin called Ghost Attack Caught on Camera. All right, so that sounds interesting. All right, so supposedly it was a real ghost attack. So let's go ahead and react to that. See how this goes. Okay, let's get it.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Caught on CCTV.
Let's go.
Facebook user Carly Tritzler shared a very bizarre video that was recorded by her CCTV camera outside her home in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. In the video, a deer can be seen walking through her yard. But that's not all.
And what's up with the footage? This is like potato. Oh my gosh.
Bizarrely, a tiny dark little figure.
What is that?
Seems to be following the deer in the...
What? That looks like a little, like, I don't know, humanoid looking creature. Maybe like that big or something like that. I don't even know. It's like, this thing is like running on two legs, it looks like. It's like a shadow type of features. I don't know. This is weird.
The dark of night. Now, I have no idea what this little thing could be. Even after brightening the footage, it doesn't appear to be any kind of pet or wild animal. And whatever it is, it almost looks like it's walking on two legs. For now, the mysterious footage remains unsolved. But I'm very curious to hear what you guys think this little thing could be.
It looks like a nymph. It looks like a shadowy nymph running behind a deer. I don't know if it's trying to like pursue it. I don't know if it's just, you know, following behind it. Maybe I have no idea. But the footage is too potato for me to say it's fakery. So I'm just going to say maybe.
A Nuke's Top 5 viewer who wishes to remain anonymous, let's just call him or her Alex for the sake of the video, emailed me about a CCTV recording captured at an undisclosed sleep lab during a sleep apnea test. Alex says that a coworker was monitoring a widowed female patient's sleep. And then, this happened.
Let me just start recording. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
But it looked like it was an apparition or something like that that like pushed the woman over and then like she just fell back. I don't know what that was about. That was weird.
Yes. It's gone now.
Now, to get a better understanding of what is going on, a bit of explanation is necessary. So the squiggly lines that can be seen at the bottom of the screen indicate that the woman has stopped breathing during her sleep. The mysterious pale figure then appears to reach out to wake the woman, after which she begins to breathe again. Alex believes the apparition might have been the patient's deceased husband, still carefully watching over her from beyond the grave.
Wow, okay, so supposedly she has sleep apparition where she stops breathing. And I guess she stopped breathing, so her husband, or I guess that's what they want to call this apparition or spirit of some sort, came to push her over so she will wake up and start breathing again. Now, I didn't see any legs or anything like that. I saw something that looked like an upper body, some arms, you know, maybe a head. I mean, I don't think that would be like a fake thing, you know. I don't know. That seemed pretty legit. You know, I don't want to call it fakery because that actually does look. I don't see how it could be faked, even though the footage is not the best. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna say this is real. That looked pretty real.
But what do you think this strange pale shape could be? Let me know down in the comments.
Let me just start recording. Oh my god.
Like, I doubt, like, they would hire like two older people and be like, "Hey, can you be in our YouTube video? We're trying to get these views. We need you to go ahead and have her sleep in the bed, pretend like she can't breathe, and then we're gonna edit in this CGI ghost, and we're gonna make the footage look a little potato. So you can't blame us for it looking CGI. It's just that the camera's a little, fuzzy. And no, I don't think that's the case though. I mean, even if it is, I mean, it looks real. I don't think they would hire older people to do this part. I don't think they would. No, no. Okay.
I see it walking around. Oh my god, oh my god,
Yeah,
oh my
I'll
god.
call it
Oh
real.
my god.
I'll call this real.
Look, yes. It's gone now.
The end of the road. Popular Guatemalan news reporter Vivian Vasquez is driving in traffic on her way to work to report the early morning news. But she will never make it to the news station, because Vivian herself becomes the tragic subject of the morning news when her lifeless body is discovered in a horrible car accident.
Ooh.
Her family, co-workers, and fans are shocked and saddened when they hear of her sudden, tragic passing. Guatemalan traffic police show up on the scene and record footage of the wreckage as evidence. But after the video is released to the public...
So like two bodies actually were in this vehicle. It's like somebody was in the front, I guess right side of the vehicle. Maybe I don't think they fell. I don't think they got thrown out or anything like that. I think they opened the door and just fell out. Then there's another body on the left side of the vehicle, more near the rear end of the wheel. So I don't know. Let's see.
Morning viewers and fans all hear something in the footage that is absolutely chilling.
What was that?
And this time, did you hear it? The anguished voice of a woman can be heard crying out in Spanish, "What did you do to me?" When watching the footage, it becomes clear that it makes no sense for anyone present at the site of the accident to be screaming, "What did you do to me?" Vivian's loyal fans believe that it was her anguished spirit crying out from beyond the grave. To this day, the Guatemalan authorities have not found the cause of Vivian's accident. Even stranger, Vivian's cell phone was never returned to her family, and no one knows why.
Okay, that's freaky. So after the car accident and Vivian was killed and such like that, and whoever the other passenger was, the police came to do an investigation, and I guess, and during the investigation, they recovered her cell phone, and I guess they never returned the cell phone after everything was done to the family, and nobody knows why. So I don't know. That's kind of suspect. Why would the police not return the cell phone? Especially with her being like a news celebrity, and everyone knows her when they wake up in the morning and they watch the news. I'm going to call it texting on the cell phone while driving. That's what I want to call it. And maybe the police, especially with the news being involved, they want to like give her like a good name, and such like that. So it's like, no, she wasn't texting and driving. None of that happened. No, we don't know what happened. Yeah, it was a freak accident. Okay. No, I think it was real. The police were there. It was a real report. So everybody on TV, well, everyone watching TV, were all mourning her death. So I'm going to call it real.
So just what happened to Vivian Vasquez? And what are your thoughts on this bizarre and tragic recording? Let me know down below. The Lurker in the Woods.
So this is vlog 1 today, my first vlog ever, woohoo!
Travel vlogger Mihaela from the YouTube channel Mihaela Claudia P records a road trip through her home country of Romania and makes a stop at one of the most haunted forests in the world, the Hoia Baciu Forest in Transylvania. Local legends tell the story of a girl who disappeared in the woods only to reappear 5 years later with no recollection of what happened to her. Another story...
Wait, what? Okay, this is supposedly the most haunted forest in Romania, but not just Romania. This is supposed to be the most haunted forest in the world. It's saying that a girl walked in, disappeared for 5 years, and came back with no recollection? Okay.
Is that of a shepherd who, along with his sheep, completely vanished in the woods, never to be seen again.
Hold on. So this like, I don't know, like, what is this? Like, okay, so a shepherd walked into the woods with a flock of sheep, and they all disappeared, never to be seen again. Seems to be a pattern going on here. Okay.
Mihaela arrives at the forest at nightfall and is all alone as she nervously makes her way through the woods. Everywhere she goes, she finds the skeletal remains of animals, but it's something else that she should be much more worried about.
I mean, those animal skeletons look pretty clean, right? So I guess some ants was doing their job. I mean, they didn't have no grit, no nothing on them, no dirt mark. It almost looked like they was plastic. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I mean, look at it. I mean, they look kind of like, I don't know. Let's see, where is it at? Right here.
Forest at nightfall and is all alone as she nervously makes her way through the woods.
Where's it at?
Everywhere she goes, she finds the skeletal remains of
Look how clean they all look.
animals.
That's bones of animals right there. That's been of what? How long they been there? What, brand new?
Something
Look how new they look. These animal skeletons? Okay.
else that she should be much more worried about. Mihaela might not be as alone in the woods as she thinks.
Yes, I am.
Why did she drive to this most haunted woods in Romania, in the world, by herself with a cell phone and a flashlight, walking through the woods as the sun sets? Yeah, she on something.
That crazy to walk alone in the so-called most haunted forest in the world, and I'm very scared of wild animals. I have to admit I'm terrified, and I do not know where the exit is. Basically they told me that the legend says that a shepherd went into the forest with the sheep and he never came out. That's the actual legend, and that's why this forest has this fame of the most haunted, because he went in and he never came back. And yes, you saw the footage with the sheep that's dead. That's a skull, a sheep skull that you saw. And if you don't believe me, you can check yourself the legend.
Okay.
What the hell is that? I'm sure I can hear something.
What is that?
Honestly, I'm terrified. What the hell is going on? Okay.
Mihaela begins to hear the disturbing sound of footsteps in the leaves.
That didn't sound like footsteps in the leaves. The only footsteps in the leaves I heard was Michaela's. That's the only footsteps I heard. Other than that, it was like some clicking noise, which sounded like someone clacking their tongue or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say Michaela is 100%, Let's keep going.
Someone or something is coming closer and closer. She makes a run for it and makes it safely back to her car. But
What, are those people in her car? There's like a guy in the back with like a cigarette in his mouth or something like that. Okay, maybe I can't tell.
did you see it? Because not long before Mihaela records the rustling sounds of someone moving through the woods, A dark figure appears to be lurking around in the trees behind her, just watching.
See, I talked about this in previous videos when you got those shadow people that be in the woods on the late night. They be running at like supersonic hog speeds. They be running super fast, disappearing and coming and going. But I don't think that's a shadow person. I think that's a person. That's her boyfriend.
The vlogger says she never saw anyone and has no idea who or what this creepy lurker could be. So are the stories true? Is the Hoyabachu forest in Transylvania really haunted? Or is this just some random creep stalking Mihaela through the dark, abandoned woods?
Unless you want to call the random creep her boyfriend, because... Okay, I'm gonna...
You decide.
Oh, I decide?
You can find this video and more over on the YouTube channel, Mihaela Claudia P.
Okay, so, I don't know. The reason why I call this fakery is because of the fact that she going to the most haunted forest or whatever woods, in her country, whatever. Okay, so she goes there, whatever, and it's like, come on, bro, really? How we know you just ain't stop by like a random woods, like, her boyfriend was like, here, this is good, let's stop by this woods, and she's like, okay, let's get the cell phone. Okay, when I get like, 30 feet ahead of you, just like kind of back up behind a tree, like you was just like a shadow ghost or something like that. That was a human being. There wasn't no shadow individual or whatever. It was too much motion in that step. He looked like he was kind of tired when he stepped out, like, gotta stretch my legs, And she up there like, I ain't hearing nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Well, I'm hearing footsteps in the woods. The only footsteps I saw and heard were hers. I didn't see nobody else's. All I heard was some weird clicks that sound like some alien or something like that. Bro. And the dude was sitting in the back seat when she got back to her car, lighting a cigarette. Fake.
The Forbidden Room. Popular Japanese paranormal YouTube channel Omagatoki Film received a horrifying video from a woman who wishes to remain anonymous. They refer to her only under the alias Nakayama. Nakayama claims that her grandmother had a very strange but strict rule for anyone visiting her home. Never go upstairs. Nakayama claims that she has heard creepy sounds coming from the second floor, and once saw a shadow figure quickly passing through the hallway at the top of the stairs. After the creepy experience, Nakayama was told the sad story of her grandmother's sister. Almost 40 years ago, the sister was living upstairs on the second floor. She was happily engaged to be married. However, the engagement was broken off by her fiancé right before the wedding. Soon after, the heartbroken woman went missing and was never seen again. Her room on the second floor has been locked and off limits ever since. Nakayama is now a grown woman, and her grandmother has since passed away. As the last living relative, she now owns the property and is considering selling it. One evening...
Wait, so did, after the girl sat there in the room, did they, like, lock the door with her inside of it? I mean, like, they just said the woman disappeared as she was sitting in the room, and then the grandmother put a padlock on the door. It never opened since then, bro. They didn't lock the okay. Oh my god.
Evening, she goes to her grandmother's house. Gathering her courage, she records a video as for the first time ever, she goes up to the second...
Yo, why this movie, listen to me. Why this video looking like The Grudge right now? Like the real life Grudge video. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. They got the woman upstairs. You know what I'm saying? She been in the locked room forever. You know what I'm saying? You got people going upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Only thing they need is like a little ghost child. Just come out making cat noises. That's all they need. Let's go.
Floor and approaches the locked door of the Forbidden Room. That's when things take a truly terrifying turn.
just think it's kind of weird how, this is supposed to be like a haunted room in a house, wherever the case may be. They put the padded lock on the door and the whole nine, but it's like, why is the Naga I forgot her name. Anyway, she's up here basically going through her grandmother's house and looking at all the rooms for what? What's the purpose? What is she doing? She's just going up there in the dark. Let me tell you, does the house not have lights that you have to use a flashlight? And you have to make it look creepy. You can't just go up the stairs with the flashlight like normal. Come on, bro. It looked like they trying to sell views. They trying to make views. Let's go. It's supposed to be authentic, right? Oh, come on. They look like a real person.
The eyes of someone or something can be seen peeking out through the crack of the lock.
Bro, look at that. You telling me right there that's how a ghost look? I already told you what an apparition of a ghost look like. It's a black and white movie. It's like they're stuck in time. That right there is a full-colored person with eyes, pupils, iris, everything. Hair. They're just opening their eyes really wide. That's it. I don't know. It's looking like fakery. Whip it in the bakery. Mix it up. Cook it up. You can stay away from me. Let's go.
Door. When paranormal investigators Hiro, Tomo, and cameraman T see the video, they are shocked. They decide to visit the creepy, allegedly haunted house to investigate. With Nakayama's permission, they take the lock off the door upstairs and go inside the mysterious forbidden room. The room inside appears to be rotting, and the team finds old photos of a woman wearing a kimono. They also find some very strange objects.
Okay, so I guess she was like, okay, I saw these eyes peeking at me through the crack of the door right there. And then with the slit between the two sides of the wood, I saw some more eyes and the face went past. So why is this thing inside this padlocked door? Come on, it's already sounding like just mad fakery. I mean, but okay, so she goes and hires, some ghost hunters, like she's not already with them from the beginning, and this is not really her grandmother's house. This is probably one of their houses, and they probably just made it look like it was haunted, and they made up a story behind it. Okay, let's go.
Including a doll, a covered mirror, and a traditional Japanese dress hanging from a cupboard. The Omagatoki team begins to get a strange, unsettling feeling that something is very off about this room.
ちょっと怖いねこの部屋。
空気はやばい感じがするよね。なんか
この部屋ちょっとおかしいぞ。
おかしい。でもこんなさ、こんな写真撮るまで話が進んでて破談した。
まあそういうことをその話を信じるならね。ちょっと中野さんにさ、もうちょっと詳しく聞いた方がよくないか。これちょっと異様だって。おかしすぎるって。おかしい。普通じゃないもんだって。普通じゃない。この写真ってさ、あれでしょ？結婚式のそんな撮るやつでしょ。今顔が来そう。ちょっとちらっとこっち見方いや違うで分かる。やばいってやばいってこう今顔が来そう。
What? Really? Bro, I don't know. I can't really call this. This ain't 100. Hold on.
The face of a woman in one of the creepy old photos appears to move to look back at the team.
Okay, first off, I can understand if, like, the whole body spun around like in full motion, like, I'd have been like, what the I'd have been gone, bro. But come on, you talking about the face just moved a little bit, like, bro, that could be editing. That could be CGI. They got editing software good enough nowadays where it can just take the face shape, move it, and draw the side of it for you and move it back. That is not hard. These men got really good editing software, and they were like, yo, let's put this picture up here and make the face move. We're going to put some cameras on it to make it look like it's legit. I don't know. It's looking like a lot of fakery going on right now. Let's continue.
Team. The three friends are getting more and more freaked out, but they try to stay calm for the sake of their investigation. But things are about to get even scarier.
なんでとしまった？
Bro.
なんでしまった今？
開いてたよね。開いてた。開いてたよ。開いてた。開けて。
Okay, first off, by the time the camera whipped up to see the door was already like this much crack. So somebody could have just pulled it closed real fast, and they could have been like, "Oh, with the camera, like who closed the door?" All right, let's keep going.
いないでしょ。いやいないよ。いるわけない。いないいないいない。
Okay, so it's a
The door to
total.
the hallway suddenly
It's a total of 3 ghost hunters. So you got one guy holding the camera, you got the 2 other guys basically opening and like playing with stuff. So okay, 3 of them.
slams shut even though no one is there. The Omagatoki team is a bit freaked out and feel that they should probably end their investigation very soon. But what happens next is downright chilling.
ちょっと待って。人じゃあそこ影。いや人影が見えてる俺今。あ、誰かね。誰だ。ちょっと待って。
I saw some sort of shadow figure like run away from like that window right there in the door. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't see how that would be. I don't really call that legit because that just could have been the girl they came to work for, or whatever her name was, Nakayomi or whatever, Nakayama or whatever. It's probably her. You know what I'm saying? She probably just stood there in front of the window and just dipped to the side. As far as I know. Okay, let's keep going.
すいません。あ、誰かいます？ちょっと開けますよ。
Yo, bro. I was about to say. I was like, I know the ghost ain't just be at the front door like, hey, what's up, guys? I was like, come on now, you can't be doing it like that. I was about to call some straight fakery on that one. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving.
どうされたんですか？
It's funny. Okay, so that's not a Yama.
お一人ですか？あ、中を見に来られたんですか？いや全然。まああれもしあれだったら、全然。いやまあ別に。
Okay, so this is the woman, or the granddaughter's granddaughter. She's the one that called this paranormal team, or this she's the one that called the actual how should I say this, ghost hunters, right? The 3 guys. Okay, so why is she all of a sudden in the room? That's what I want to know. Why is she in the room right now? Let's go. We're gonna find out Nakayama is her name. We're gonna find out Nakayama's the ghost. Watch.
さんもう初めてなんですよね、ここ。
皆さんは初めてですよね、入られたのって。
What is she doing?
皆さん大丈夫ですか？なんかちょっと体調が。
Bro, I swear to God, if she turned out to be the ghost, I'm done.
様子が。
And why is she blurred?
ちょっと、皆さん、ちょっと、もう行こう。朝もう一回出よう。いいからもう行こう。今おかしいですよ。おかしいよ。
Bro, How you gonna come at me like that? How you gonna come at me like that? Y'all literally made that girl, the freaking girl that was in the room locked with the padlock? Really? Really, bro? Come on now, man. Y'all... Really?
The three friends are...
They running from the girl who gave him the job. They running from the girl that gave them the job. Really? Y'all got me on a whole nother level right now. I'm just...
baffled
okay.
and shocked. They have no idea why Nakayama is suddenly acting so bizarre. The guys decide to leave, but they don't feel right about leaving Nakayama alone in the house. So, they return to the home. But when they go back inside, they discover that Nakayama has disappeared. After a little discussion, Investigator Tomo feels confident enough to do a solo investigation inside the Forbidden Room all alone.
But this man must be braver than Braveheart. This man said, hold up, homies. I want y'all to stay back. I'm going to take the camera, I'm going to take the flashlight by myself, and I'm going to go in the room and close the door behind me. Really? After all that paranormal, y'all must be some badass paranormal hunters, man, because most of them would have just bounced. They wouldn't even stayed there. That's another reason why I think it'd be fakery, because ain't no normal human being gonna be like, oh, look at that. This girl just got possessed, so she's moving around the room in different areas. We don't know why. She's making this weird laugh. Really? Bro. Okay, continue.
Hiro and cameraman T wait downstairs as Tomo stays behind with nothing but a camera.
I think y'all already know I'm gonna call this once it's finished, but we'll continue and watch.
It did not go well.
今隣に大きいタンスがあるんですけど、その中に誰かいる。さっきからなんかボソボソ喋る声とすっごい視線をね感じる。今隣のタンスに誰かいる。この隙間から
Really? That face right there?
誰か覗いてる。
That face? What is that? Come on.
どこに？ここに？この中？トムさん、オナウス。オナ。いない。
A horrified Tomo begins to see movement inside a nearby cupboard and calls for his friends. Hiro and cameraman T hurry upstairs, and together they open the door, but no one inside.
Really?
The Omagatoki team has finally just had enough, and they get out of there. After this investigation, the team says that they have made multiple attempts to reach out to the woman, Nakayama, but they haven't heard from her since. So just what is going on inside this creepy house, in this creepy forbidden room? You decide.
I'm going to decide, yeah. Fakery. You already knew it was coming. With a big F. Just fakery. That's the biggest fakery I've ever seen. You know, they did a good job trying to convince everybody with the whole backstory of the house. Like, you know, grandma left the house to the granddaughter. The upstairs is locked with a padlock and all, everything like that. I mean, it was okay. And here she come going upstairs all creepy. Like, why is she going up the stairs all creepy if that's her grandma's house? She's looking in the door. Oh, I see some eyes. Oh, I look inside of. Oh, there's another eyes. Let me call the ghost hunters. They come through. They going around seeing pictures move. CGI. I already counted it as CGI. Then they go and walk into another room, and then all of a sudden the door slams. Okay, they go check another door. It's the woman, Nakayama. Okay, she sits down, all of a sudden she's possessed. Then she turns out to disappear and never existed in the first place. Oh, it's called fakery. That's exactly what it is. Okay, let's go.
You can watch this full 2-part series with English subtitles over on the YouTube channel, Omagatoki Film. Meanwhile, on TikTok. TikTok user Ashley Rain has only ever posted videos of her family and all of their cute cats. But this next video is completely different from anything she has ever posted before. Ashley claims that late one night their motion-activated security camera caught something truly bizarre.
What is that supposed to be? Please, somebody tell me what is that supposed to be? That looked like a skin mask. Okay, let's keep going. Well, what is it doing? Like spying on the cat? The cat ain't even scared. The cat is looking like with the tail wrapped around his legs in a comfortable position. Very comfortable position. The cat not even what? Paws tucked in. Everything. The cat chilling like ain't even scared. It's like that cat know who that is. I'm telling you. Bro, where does this man get this idea from? He done dressed up in a whole white cat suit, gonna stick his head out sideways and try to make his head lean down all the way and put his hands on the top part of the doorway and the lower part of the doorway so he can hold himself up, right? So he can do this. Okay. Look, the cat not even tripping. Look, the cat is looking like, what are you doing, owner? I mean, are you gonna come out and like pet me? Are you gonna bring me some cat food? I mean, that's why I'm waiting here, right? Well, I gotta shoot this YouTube video first. Let me go ahead and pretend to be, I don't know, so Casper the Friendly Ghost or something. I don't know. I mean, what is he doing? Bro, stop. Stop. Really? That looked like a frame cut. I'll be honest with you. That looked like a straight up frame cut. It turned around slowly and then just shot up the wall. Bro, my man probably got a ladder posted up against the side of the wall right there and then run away. The cat not even like afraid. The cat know who it is. Oh, that's my owner. I know exactly who that was. Come on. Really? He's on a ladder. He's on a ladder.
One of Ashley's cats seems to be staring at a bizarre translucent apparition with glowing eyes that appears to be staring right back at the cat.
You know why? Because they know each other. That is not a ghost. That is its owner. And the cat knows that.
At first glance, it just looks like the cat's owner playing peekaboo. But then the pale figure suddenly just floats up toward the ceiling before vanishing into thin air.
Oh my god.
Curious TikTok commenters believe Ashley's cat might have been trying to protect the home from...
Whoa. Ashley's cat may have been trying to protect the home. The only thing Ashley is protecting is that sheet she's sitting on right now. Ain't nothing else she trying to protect. Bro, you trying to tell me that cat just became a tiger? That cat a kitten chilling waiting for cat food. And that was the owner acting like it was wanting to be a cat. And the cat couldn't understand it. The cat was like, why you trying to be like me? Why you trying to climb walls? Like, you weird, bro. Send me back to the shelter. Man.
From an unwanted dark entity. Ashley says that the family has since moved to a new home and is happy to be out of their old house for good.
Really?
But is it real? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax?
Fakery.
You decide.
The cat was like, really?
Simon Lockhart is a security guard at a hotel in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. Simon sent me an email in which he says that a few months ago, a man tragically lost his life at the hotel. He says that ever since, he has been experiencing strange supernatural events during his security shifts. As the paranormal activity intensified, Simon began to record evidence and post it to TikTok.
So I'm in the bathroom right now. I'm not going to the bathroom if you're wondering.
this dude really just said that just now? He said, so I'm in a bathroom right now? Like, hold on. So I'm in a bathroom right now? Let's take a look, just in case you're wondering. It would have been funnier if people would have thought you was on the toilet, my bro. Like, what are you doing? Oh, man.
But, I'm hearing, like, shuffling sounds outside the door. And I didn't put the camera on.
Man was like, he was ready, bro. He was ready for anything. He was like, let's go, bro. Yo, that was good. I like that. I like that.
Bro, what the was that? No.
Then, only 2 weeks later, this happens.
I swear to God, I heard like a woman talking in here. I swear to God, I heard a woman talking. What the?
It was like, get out. Yo, that sounded like an MP3.
Oh, no. No. No, I'm not doing that.
But before long, the loud bangs and unexplained voices turn into something much more sinister.
Hello? Oh my God, what the f?
No. Bro, no.
Bro.
What?
Holy No.
Simon
No, that seemed legit. I don't know, because you can hear the footsteps from like a distance, and then all of a sudden they got louder, and then they just started coming up the steps real fast. Oh, bro, that's too much. That's too much right there. No, but honestly, though, I mean, I'm gonna say what it could be. Okay, it could be like a video player or something like that, or some sort of tape player, and like they got the sound set up to where it's like low volume, where it's like tap, 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 and as far as it goes up, it gets louder, like pat, 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 you know. And he just played the tape right there because they're in a corridor, so the sound travels a lot louder, a lot faster. So I'm just saying, his cell phone microphone picked it all up. So it just seemed like somebody was running the steps, but they wasn't. I don't know, just saying. But it looked good, though. I give him credit. That was good. I give him good.
records as something that he can't see seems to charge up the staircase right at him. But did you see it? Simon's concerned TikTok viewers point out something that he missed in his original video. Something downright chilling. Watch again.
Oh my God. What the
man.
What the Bro.
It looks as if a face can be seen watching him through the window of a door on the 8th floor. The security guard says that there was no one around and he didn't see anyone at the window at the time. He only noticed it after TikTok viewers pointed it out. Over the course of several months, Simon continues to record everything he experiences. Then late one night, the security guard is sent out to the hotel's restaurant after reports of some very unusual activity. It really did not go well.
I'm over at the restaurant right now that's connected to our hotel. The door's been wide open. And they said they've seen lights going on and off in here. This is the attic area. Very, very narrow stairs, and I just smashed my head on this freaking pipe. Hello?
Yo, it did it again. And Jay was like, yo, that was a loud whisper. That's all that was. Oh, man.
There's no one here. There's no one here. I'm Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay. I'm out. I'm out. Okay. Just leave me alone.
Yo, you heard that, right? My man is a comedian, bro. You hear his voice? Come on, we gotta go back on that. Hold on. That was hilarious. That was freaking funny. Hold on. He said, okay.
Hello?
Oh, that was funny.
There's no one here. There's no one here. I'm Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay. I'm out. I'm out. Okay. Just leave me alone.
The nervous security guard hears someone say the words, "Get out."
Oh, man.
And soon after feels something or someone pull at his shirt. In a panic, Simon tries to descend the steep staircase as fast as he can, but he actually slips and breaks his ankle.
Bro, he slipped and broke his ankle. Bro, what is that? Like veins on his leg? What is that? I don't know what that is. Like, that man literally just got his foot sitting up on 2 pillows. He's supposed to be in the hospital or something? Come on, man.
Always, whether it's all real or not, I leave it to you to decide. But either way, best wishes to Simon for his speedy recovery, and you can follow his story over on his TikTok page. It's Simon. Thanks.
Okay. Fakery. I just had to say it. I just had to call it fakery. First off, all those knocks and bangings and people whispering at him and faces in the side door and that running up the stairs like I was telling you about could have been a tape player. It's his partner. Him and his partner came up with it. And you know what? I'm noticing a lot of security across the United States itself. They're starting to do these YouTube videos on TikToks and all that stuff about paranormal activity at work because it's overnight. Most of security works overnight. So everyone expects to be something like that. So they're just out here dropping, like, if you go on any type of social media or like YouTube or something like that, type in there security paranormal. Watch how many pop up. It's going to be like 90% of the security force of like United States. It's fakery. I don't think it was real. And when he fell down the steps at the end of the video, you didn't see his foot hit the staircase. He just came over to the staircase. It's like he just dropped his phone. Like this. Here I go again. Oh no, okay. Dropped his phone. And they show a picture of his foot. Like, oh, I fell and broke my foot. I had to call ambulance service. How'd you get your cell phone back? I'm just saying, a lot of questions in that. Anyway.
Thanks for watching. Check out some weird stuff and extra clips over on my Instagram and on my Twitter. And then there's a TikTok too. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you next week.
Not a fan of TikTok. Yeah, guys, go over and check out Nuke's Top 5. He's one of the best when it comes to YouTube, paranormal activity, unexplained, and, you know, pretty much anything that you would find awesome. So, yeah, so I thought that was okay. I actually like that Nuke's Top 5. I mean, Nuke's Top 5 never lets me down, you know. He does pretty good. I don't know about that last one. The last one was entertaining. Even though I think it might have not been real, it was entertaining. I will say that. Other than that, I want to go ahead and give you guys one more because it's still early. You know, I try and break that 1 hour mark. So let me give y'all one more. Hold on. I got something else. I got something else for y'all. Mr. Ballin. Ghost attack caught on camera. Let's go, Mr. Ballin. And if you guys don't know who Mr. Ballin is, he's basically a prior Navy SEAL. He actually saw combat in the Middle East, and he also would like a lot of people to start watching his channel. Also, start reading his books. He's also a book writer. He's one of the best around, I would say, when it comes to storytelling. You know, but yeah, here it is. I'm gonna drop.
What's going on, guys? Mr. Ballin here. Earlier, I had been saying you probably know me from TikTok, but the reality is is the majority of people that are watching this video or who have watched my other videos are actually just from YouTube, which is really cool to feel like YouTube is promoting some of my videos. I think I'm incredibly lucky to have that be happening. I'm incredibly lucky to have this page growing as quickly as it is, and I'm incredibly lucky to have you paying attention, even if it's just for a few minutes. So thank you for tuning in. A little bit about me. I am a former Navy SEAL. I got medically retired at the end of 2017. I initially started making content that was pretty much exclusively about being a Navy SEAL and my experiences. But then when I got on TikTok at the end of 2019, early 2020, I kind of just completely pivoted and started sharing stories that I was just fundamentally interested in. Scary stories, true crime, mysteries, that type of content, purely because I enjoy it. I was very fortunate that it took off on TikTok, and here I am on YouTube, kind of trying to do the same thing, sharing content about, darker but really interesting, compelling stories. It's just something I'm passionate about, and I'm really happy that I'm starting to grow a platform that is based on that, because I would love to do this indefinitely. So today I'm going to be covering a very famous haunting. But before I get into any details about it, I want to be upfront with the people watching this video. This video and my channel in general are not designed to be, an attempt at convincing people that the paranormal is real or that ghosts are real. But rather, I want to cover stories that are just plain interesting. And I like covering things that are of the darker variety. True crime, certainly unsolved mysteries falls into that. I love that genre, the kind of dark, mysterious genre. And so this story really interests me because there's lots of photo evidence. There's multiple witnesses that kind of corroborate, not necessarily that ghosts are real, but rather that the events that led to people speculating it was a haunting. There are people that corroborate the details, meaning the story is cohesive, that the actors in the story basically corroborate one another. And so it leads us down a path to getting to the end of the story, and we're like, well, what the hell happened? Because if it's not a haunting, what was it? Because a bunch of things happened that are pretty difficult to explain. So the too long didn't read version of this story is you have a single mom who moves into a home with her kids, and she starts hearing noises in the walls, in the attic. She can't make sense of it. She has friends and, the babysitter that are at the house that also hear it. Her ex-husband starts to experience it. You have all these people experiencing these weird phenomena happening in the house. And then, through a weird series of events that involves priests, landlords, and child protective services, they have a paranormal investigator come over with camera equipment and all that. They come in the house and they end up documenting quite a bit of startling imagery and footage that only lends credibility to the fact that this actually might be a real haunting. So that's the story in a nutshell. Let's dive in. In 1989, a 23-year-old woman named Jackie Hernandez has just broken up with her husband, Al. It was an amicable separation. They just weren't on good terms. They decided it's time to get a divorce, but we will, happily co-parent our two kids together. So it's an amicable breakup. Jackie moves into a small, modest home in San Pedro, California, with the kids. And she's working a ton. She's a student at night. She's working multiple jobs. It's a very hard, stressful time. But she's doing her best to support her family and kind of land on her feet. So about a month after living in this house, Jackie comes home from a long day at school and work, and she sits down, the kids are asleep, and she puts on the TV. And she's just trying to decompress. And as she's sitting there...
It's clogged. Do this over again. Damn.
You know the shower's clogged?
No.
When I run the sink, it goes into the shower.
Yeah. All right. I'll look at it after. I'm about almost done. I got another 30 minutes of this.
But that's not some silly shit. The plumbing, the water.
What's going on, guys? Mr. Ballin here. Earlier I had been saying you probably know me from TikTok, but the reality is the majority of people that are watching this video or who have watched my other videos are actually just from YouTube, which is really cool to feel like YouTube is promoting some of my videos. I think I'm incredibly lucky to have that be happening. I'm incredibly lucky to have this page growing as quickly as it is, and I'm incredibly lucky to have you paying attention, even if it's just for a few minutes. So thank you for tuning in. A little bit about me. I am a former Navy SEAL. I got medically retired at the end of 2017. I initially started making content that was pretty much exclusively about being a Navy SEAL and my experiences. But then when I got on TikTok at the end of 2019, early 2020, I kind of just completely pivoted and started sharing stories that I was just fundamentally interested in. Scary stories, true crime, mysteries, that type of content, purely because I enjoy it. I was very fortunate that it took off on TikTok, and here I am on YouTube, kind of trying to do the same thing, sharing content about, darker but really interesting, compelling stories. It's just something I'm passionate about, and I'm really happy that I'm starting to grow a platform that is based on that, because I would love to do this indefinitely. So today I'm going to be covering a very famous haunting. But before I get into any details about it, I want to be upfront with the people watching this video. This video and my channel in general are not designed to be, an attempt at convincing people that the paranormal is real or that ghosts are real. But rather, I want to cover stories that are just plain interesting. And I like covering things that are of the darker variety. True crime, certainly unsolved mysteries falls into that. I love that genre, the kind of dark, mysterious genre. And so this story really interests me because there's lots of photo evidence. There's multiple witnesses that kind of corroborate not necessarily that ghosts are real, but rather that the events that led to people speculating it was a haunting. There are people that corroborate the details, meaning the story is cohesive, that the actors in the story basically corroborate one another. And so it leads us down a path to getting to the end of the story, and we're like, well, what the hell happened? Because if it's not a haunting, what was it? Because a bunch of things happened that are pretty difficult to explain. So the too long didn't read version of this story is you have a single mom who moves into a home with her kids, and she starts hearing noises in the walls, in the attic. She can't make sense of it. She has friends and, the babysitter that are at the house that also hear it. Her ex-husband starts to experience it. You have all these people experiencing these weird phenomena happening in the house. And then, through a weird series of events that involves priests, landlords, and child protective services, they have a paranormal investigator come over with camera equipment and all that. They come in the house and they end up documenting quite a bit of startling imagery and footage that only lends credibility to the fact that this actually might be a real haunting. So that's the story in a nutshell. Let's dive in. In 1989, a 23-year-old woman named Jackie Hernandez has just broken up with her husband, Al. It was an amicable separation. They just weren't on good terms. They decided it's time to get a divorce, but we will, happily co-parent our two kids together. So it's an amicable breakup. Jackie moves into a small, modest home in San Pedro, California, with the kids. And she's working a ton. She's a student at night. She's working multiple jobs. It's a very hard, stressful time, but she's doing her best to support her family and kind of land on her feet. So about a month after living in this house, Jackie comes home from a long day at school and work, and she sits down, the kids are asleep, and she puts on the TV. And she's just trying to decompress. And as she's sitting there, she starts to hear what sounds like little pebbles falling down inside of the walls. So she mutes the TV and she's listening, and it's just periodically little pebbles are falling down the wall. She goes up and she's listening, or with her ear against the wall, and she's thinking to herself, there's got to be, a mouse or some critter up in my attic, unfortunately, that's kicking some pebbles into a gap in the wall. And as she's listening, she thinks she hears what sounds like footsteps in the attic. And so it startles her. Now she's really paying close attention to the attic. She doesn't hear it again. This is the first time she's heard anything like this, so she kind of did the very human sort of rationalizing what she had just heard and assumed she was just hearing things in the attic. It's just some critter. I'll deal with it later. So a couple days later, Jackie has her friend Susan over to just hang out with her at her house. You know, the kids are asleep and they're relaxing, talking, sitting on the couch. And as they're sitting there, they hear a loud bang in the kitchen. It sounded like something had fallen. And so, you know, at this point, Jackie had mentioned to Susan this weird, like, hey, I think I got an animal up in the attic because I heard some rocks falling through the walls. But the funny thing was, I could have sworn I heard footsteps up there, but you know, probably just my mind playing tricks on me. So Susan is keyed in that maybe there's a little bit of weirdness happening in the house. So when they hear this sound in the kitchen, it's like they both instantly go to, okay, what's happening here? Is this more to do with the footsteps in the attic, or is there a rational explanation? So they're on guard, they walk into the kitchen, and they find a picture that was hanging on the wall that had fallen, which honestly that's not a cause for a ghost is in the house, but it was held up by a couple of nails. And the nails were removed from the picture frame and were standing on their head, point up, next to the image, next to the picture. So imagine if a picture falls, are all the nails going to come out and land perfectly on their head right next to it? No, it's almost impossible. But sure enough, that happened. So Susan and Jackie are staring at the picture, they're staring at the nails, and they have no idea what to make of it. You know, Susan was a little bit more eager to connect it to these footsteps in the attic, but she also did not want to frighten her friend because she knows she's living alone. And so they kind of talked a little bit about it, and maybe they both wanted to have that discussion about what's happening in the house, but they both kind of decided, without saying anything, that we're going to kind of avoid this topic. And so they put the picture away, the nails away. Susan actually decides to just leave because she's a little bit freaked out, and so she's gone. The next night, Susan actually brings over a new babysitter. It's this 16-year-old girl named Tina. And so I guess, Jackie wanted a little bit of time to leave the house. She thought that she was kind of losing her mind with all the stress of work and school. And so Tina comes over. Jackie had not told Tina anything about what was going on in the house. It was just like, hey, take care of the kids, I'll see you in a little bit. She's sitting on the couch, Tina, the babysitter, and she just like, you know what, I'm going to go just check on the kids. I got a weird feeling to make sure they're okay in their bedrooms. And as soon as she goes to push the door opens. Which she remembers in an interview saying it was strange that before it actually made contact with the door swung open. But, I didn't think anything of it. I walked in, the sun is just fine. So I walked back out and I shut the door. She's sitting on the couch, Tina, the babysitter, and she just like, you know what, I'm going to go just check on the kids. I got a weird feeling to make sure they're okay in their bedrooms. And as soon as she goes to push the door opens. Which she remembers in an interview saying it was strange that before it actually made contact with the door swung open. But, I didn't think anything of it. I walked in.
Okay, so this is an actual picture of Tina, the babysitter of the two children. I mean, judging from the hairstyle, this got to be like pretty old. Yeah, I'm guessing like 80s, 90s.
The sun is just fine. So I walked back out and I shut the door. But as soon as I shut it, I turned around and it was starting to open again. And she describes thinking that, I guess, the house must be, not level or something. Jackie comes home and Tina tells her about the door. And I think that Tina on some level was hoping that Jackie, being the adult, would, hear what she was saying and have just a totally rational explanation for what was going on. Like, the door always does that, something like that. But Tina was shocked when she told her this, and Jackie reacted visibly like she was concerned. And Tina's like keying in on it, and she was like, I mean, do you know why this could happen? Why the door would be kind of opening on its own? And Jackie just said, honestly, there's been a couple of weird things that have happened. And so they talked about it a little bit, but ultimately, they both just decided, you know what? I think that we're connecting things that don't need to be connected. It's just a couple of strange occurrences. So Tina leaves. Jackie goes to bed and they don't think about it. So the next day, Jackie has Tina come back over because she needs some more help with the kids. And so as they're standing in the kitchen, Jackie's describing to Tina what she needs to do that night, when to feed the kids, what time to put them to bed. Tina just kind of stops paying attention to Jackie and looks up at the corner of the kitchen. And so in the back corner of the kitchen, Tina's looking and she says, "Did you put in a new light in the corner of your kitchen?" And Jackie looks too, and she's like, "Whoa, what is that?" And it looks like there's this like light bulb, kind of a weird looking light bulb in the
Probably orbs. I mean, if it got anything to do with spirits, like, they usually come in orb form. It's different manifestations they can take, but orb is known as one of them.
corner of the kitchen on the ceiling, which there wasn't a light bulb over there, and Jackie says as much, and they're looking at it, and then it begins to move. Not towards them, it was like just kind of moving around, like an orb of light that was kind of moving around. And now, had Jackie and Tina relayed that particular experience, almost everybody or virtually everyone would be like, "Yeah, okay, you saw a floating light in your kitchen." Well, they took a picture of it because it didn't go away. So they went and got a camera and they took this picture. And so you can see there's like this blob of light, that was in their kitchen. Between the pebbles in the wall, the footsteps in the attic, the falling picture with the nails standing on their head, with, Tina saying the door wouldn't shut, and now this orb of light. Now, Jackie has officially kind of gone from, "I'm going to play this rational and not worry about it," to, "I have no idea what's wrong, and I can't explain this. I can't tell people this without..."
I wonder, that has to be a real picture of Jackie. Like, she's like, mind you, single mother, taking care of 2 kids. She's got the babysitter Tina at home while she works, and then she comes home and they're in the kitchen, whatever the case may be, and they see these orbs in the kitchen just circling, and they're like, "We can't explain what that is."
them thinking I'm crazy, with the exception of Susan and Tina, because her kids were too young to know what was going on. There's no one that she felt comfortable sharing her anxieties and fear about what was happening, because how do you, a skeptical, rational person, go to for example, the police and say, "Hey, there's nothing in my attic, but I believe there's someone walking around my attic and kicking pebbles into my walls and knocking pictures off the wall and taking the nails out, standing them on the head." They're going to say that, "Well, are you doing this?
Exactly.
Doing this?"
The police always ask that first. "Hey, heard you say a crazy accusation or some sort." They're like, "You saw someone walking upside down on the ceiling? Someone flew through the window? Someone exploded and then reassembled themselves? All right. Are you the one doing this?" That's the first thing they ask. We need to find out if you're mentally stable.
And so the only person that Jackie finally felt comfortable telling was her ex-husband, because they were still amicable. She has Al come over and she finally says to him, I have a lot of weird things happening. She showed him the picture of the lights in the kitchen. She describes everything that happened in the house. And Al would say that in a way he thought that this was just kind of an act to maybe draw attention to the fact that she was lonely and that she missed him. He wasn't sure if that's what it was, but he definitely was not ready to believe in anything she was saying. He just kind of felt bad for the position she was in. So he listens and he says, "Look," kind of almost playing along with her, he's like, "Let's just call it out. If there's something happening in your house, we should call it out." And so he stands up and she's saying, "No, don't do that, don't do that." And he goes, "Whoever's here, show yourself." And they're looking around.
Talking to the ghost. What'd I say? Why are you talking to the ghost? I can understand if you didn't know it was a ghost and you're looking around the corner like, "Hey, is anyone there?" But how you was gonna be like, if you're there, show yourself. Like, bro, that's like inviting a vampire into your house. Don't talk to the ghost. They're not in the same dimensional as you.
And nothing. And I think in a way Jackie was disappointed that there wasn't, footsteps in the attic right then and there, but there was nothing. And so Al kind of does there's nothing to worry about here, just stop worrying about it. And so he leaves, and Jackie's disappointed but not shocked. And she goes to put something away in the closet. This is immediately after he's left. And she opens this closet, and inside the closet, on every wall, inside the closet, on the back of the door, was written Al. A in red and the L in blue. A-L. All.
Okay, so Al is the father. He's the husband of Jackie. He came over because they're separated, obviously. He comes over to find out what's wrong with her. She says she's been seeing these strange, like, orbs in the kitchen, doors opening by themselves, faucets turning on, and she's like, Al comes over and he's like trying to find out if she's like crazy or not. So he says, "Okay, let's find out." So he tries to talk to the ghost, and Nothing happened. So, okay. So later on, they go to open up the closet door, and it's like they see owl written all over the walls on all three sides, including the back of the door. Owl is the husband's name or the father's name, or the two kids.
Over the wall, and that had not been there before, and what she believes was a response to the challenge by Al. So at this point, if she had money, she said she would have left, but she didn't. She didn't have the resources to move, and so she's just kind of trapped, and she's expressing her concerns and her anxiety to her friend Susan. And the two of them are actually out for a walk in their neighborhood, and she's telling Susan how scared she is and like, what do I even do? And it just so happens that the landlord, her landlord, Jackie's landlord, was walking down the street at the same time, and they bump into each other. They have some pleasantries, and Susan, just kind of without even asking Jackie's permission, says to the landlord, hey, there's some weird stuff happening in our house. She doesn't want to tell anyone because she thinks people will think she's crazy. And so they go into describing to the landlord all the strange happenings in the house, the lights that they got a picture of, the pebbles, the footsteps, all of it. And the landlord is very religious and is very concerned and says, would you allow me to have 2 priests come to your house and check your house out? And Jackie she is a religious person, but to be honest, was a little skeptical at the idea of introducing religion to what was going on. I think that for her, she just wanted it to go away, but then again, she had nowhere to turn. And so she was like, okay, yeah, we'll have the priest come over and check it out. So the next day, these 2 priests show up to her house, and Jackie's house was very much in disarray. She had 2 young kids, she was working multiple jobs, doing school late, and she had all this weirdness happening in her house. And so when they showed up, her house was a total mess.
Whoa. Okay. Wait, this is Jackie's house? This is an actual photo of her house. Bruh. The only thing I noticed is that old TV sitting there on the left side, bro. Bro, how you gonna have 2 priests come over your house and in your place just like, really? You better hope they don't call the police.
Her kids are crying. It's just, it's a madhouse. And ultimately what happened from this visit is the priest walked around, offered to bless her children. But really they didn't have any sort of like conclusion. And then they leave. And Jackie was like, well, that didn't really do anything for me, but okay. The next day, she gets a visit from Child Protective Services.
Well, I tell you, how you gonna call 2 priests and have your place looking like that, and then be like, yeah, 2 kids live here, and be like, can you pray for this ghost to leave this house? The priests gonna look at each other like, all right, yeah, we gonna pray. They're gonna go up there. They're gonna give thanks for their food, like some basic prayer. They're not even gonna do nothing. They're gonna walk out. Okay, have a nice day. First thing they doing, they calling police. They calling Child Protective Service. You might as well call the police in the first place and just told them what was going on. I mean, if you wanted to do all that, now you got the church involved? Oh my God.
Because the priest had actually filed a complaint saying that this was all a hallucination by an incompetent mother. This notion that the house was haunted, combined with when they showed up, the house was a total mess. They just said, I don't think the kids are safe. And so Child Protective Services gets called, who basically threatened Jackie to like clean it up. Literally clean up your house, but like we're going to be checking in on you to make sure you're a fit mother. And so this is a huge blow, because now Jackie is seeing what happens when you bring up that your house is haunted, right? That this is what can happen. And so now she is not prepared to share this with anybody. So over the next couple weeks, Jackie brings her kids into the living room and they all start sleeping in the same room. She's increasingly paranoid. She's overworked and she's not sleeping enough, and she's just kind of really spiraling. And, Susan, who's her friend, is really taking a notice, is noticing this. And she also knows the sensitivity of being able to really share this with, authority, because she knows about the Child Protective Services call, and she knows that Jackie is really afraid to share the story with anyone. But she goes over and she tells her, you have to call a paranormal investigator. It is probably the only group of people that if you reach out to them with this story, they're not going to treat you like they're crazy. And if nothing else, that is a reason to call them. Even if
So who the paranormal investigator, Mr. Ballin? Is his name Mr. Ballin? I don't know. Let's see.
If what they provide is worthless to you, that it doesn't accomplish anything, they're at least a group of people that are going to take you seriously. And so finally, Jackie just says, okay, let's do it. So a couple days go by and this team shows up at their house, this paranormal investigator team. They have cameras and recorders. I mean, they are in it to try to capture footage. And even though they were ready to listen to Jackie and had obviously taken her seriously enough that they had shown up at her house, they were fairly skeptical. They, by their own admission afterwards, after this whole case had happened, they had said that they had covered over 3,000 cases prior to this and brought their recording equipment and all that, had never once found anything usable that would even hint at the existence of ghosts or the paranormal. And
you gotta realize, though, this is like you said, back in the 80s. I mean, paranormal equipment, like to actually find paranormal activity, wasn't that great back then. And and nowadays they got EMF readers, they got the ghost box. I mean, back in the day they were using things like Ouija boards. Like, who uses Ouija boards? I would never use something like a Ouija board.
So you could say that they were sympathetic to people that had these experiences, but usually either there was nothing going on or they found a rational explanation for whatever the person was claiming to happen. They didn't have any paranormal footage. So they're interviewing Jackie on camera, the three investigators that are there. They're kind of asking her some questions about what's going on and filming it. And Jackie had actually invited her ex-husband, Al, to be there with the kids. So he's in the other room with the kids. And they're interviewing her, and then the power goes out, which it sounds pretty cliche, and I get that. But the power goes off, and then the power comes back on, and it visibly shakes Jackie. She had been living in this house with all these weird occurrences.
I mean, that can be a sign of paranormal activity as well. Like, if you see any things like lights flickering, power going on and off, because if a entity is strong enough, it can actually manifest itself. It will affect electrical currents in the immediate area. That goes for anything really, but yeah.
And it was like she had this feeling that something bad was going to happen, and so she starts acting really, really scared. And she says, I'm telling you, there's something going on with the attic. And so they kind of stop the interview and they're like, all right, let's just go have a look at the attic. We'll go look. There won't be anything there. We'll come back down and we'll chat with her some more. And so one of the three investigators gets a ladder and crawls through this little crawl space into the attic. And so he goes up. And so while he's doing that, Al, who's in the other room with the kids, he's wide awake, laying with his son. He's just waiting. He's not really expecting anything to happen. And as he's laying there, he could have sworn he heard someone whisper in his ear, "Tell them to get the hell out of here."
What?
And he has an interview he does where he describes this moment. And you can tell that Al is as skeptical as they come. And he's like, I just don't know how to explain it. I heard it clear as day. And right after I heard it, I heard a scream from the attic. The photographer who had gone up into the attic, he was alone up there, and he had brought his expensive camera, and he comes running downstairs or jumps through the hole and practically falls.
Wait, that must be actual footage of the cameraman for the paranormal team. So he saw something that made him jump out of the attic real fast.
Out of the attic, and he tells them, something grabbed my camera. There's no one up there, but something grabbed my camera.
What?
And his heart's racing, his face is pale, and the other investigators, they're starting to feel like, what's going on? Al comes bursting out of the room, and he's like, what's going on? And the photographer's like, my camera. And he goes from being scared of what happened to now being like, that's my livelihood. I need to get that camera back. So he goes back up into the attic to retrieve his camera, and he finds the body of the camera in a crate in one side of the attic. And then the lens of the camera had been removed and placed on the other side of the attic. He comes down with his camera, and you can tell that what he's just discovered has really shaken him up, and the other investigators are also very shaken up. And whatever they planned to do that night, whether it was finishing the interview with Jackie or whatever, has now gone out the window. They're ready to leave. Jackie is pleading with them to stay. Al's freaked out. No one knows what's happening. And the investigator's like, yep, we're good. We'll be back soon. I promise. But really, they're just like, let's get out of here.
Yeah, the investigator's like, we come, bro. Yeah, we'll be back. We're coming back. Don't worry. That's it.
and they bolt. After they leave, Al sticks around for a little bit longer, but ultimately has to go back because he has to work early the next day. And so Jackie is left all alone with the kids. She is totally freaked out. She feels like the investigators had upset the entity in the house. And so she's pretty much on edge for something bad to happen. And sure enough, it does. So that night, Jackie is laying on the sofa. She's in full crisis mode. She has no idea what's going on in her house. Watching the investigators who are supposed to be investigating this stuff, being obviously spooked and leave, really unsettled her.
Wow, see, the paranormal ghost investigators, they still scared nowadays, but these guys, you gotta realize a lot of these paranormal, like I said before, a lot of these paranormal ghost investigators, they get paid. They get paid money to go and search people's homes for ghosts, entities and such like that. And it's like, when they don't find anything, it's like they got a free check. Like, thanks, okay. See you next time,
She felt like she didn't have any support from Al. She just felt like the whole situation had just completely fallen apart, and she's so scared for her kids, and she's laying on the sofa, and at some point she must have passed out. And then she wakes up suddenly, and she looks at the foot of her sofa, and she believes she sees what appears to be the figure of an old man standing there looking at her kids. She screams, it vanishes, she grabs her kids, and she runs out of the house. The first people she calls is the investigators, because again, she's worried about telling the police in fear that they would think it was her being crazy and have her kids taken from her. So she calls the investigators, and they don't pick up, but she leaves a voicemail, and on the voicemail, she's completely desperate. She's like, please come back. I am out of the house. I can't go back in. I don't know what to do. Like, I can't go back in. Please help me. And one of the photographers who was there heard the voicemail and decides, you know what? We got to go back. It's super late at night. They find Jackie outside of her property in pajamas with her kids. She's totally freaked out. They bring her inside, and the house is totally calm. There's no sign of anything going on. And so they're kind of walking around the house. No one goes in the attic, but they're just walking around, and it's silent. It's calm. And after a little bit of time, maybe because it was so calm in the house, they decide, you know what, just because, let's go back up into the attic and just, for sanity, let's just take some pictures and video and see what's up there. So two of the investigators go up into the attic. One has a flashlight and a camera, and then the other just has his camera. And so they go up there, and Jackie and the third investigator are kind of anxiously standing at the foot of the attic looking up. And the guys who are up in the attic walking around, they're reporting down to them, we don't see anything, we don't hear anything, it's quiet up here, but like the tension is building, right? And they stop at some point, the two in the attic, and it's just like silence. And all of them reported hearing a snap, and then another snap, and then a third snap, and then silence. And Jackie begins having this overwhelming sense of dread.
What? Was that a real photo of her?
Guys in the attic are trying to stay calm. They're like kind of trying to talk about, oh, that could have been the roof. Oh, it could have been this. But the investigator who's down below with Jackie and Jackie herself, they start kind of panicking. They're like, hey, come on, come back down. Let's not risk it. Something's about to happen. Come back down. So as they're making their way back over to the exit of the attic, and it's totally pitch black up there, minus whatever light source they had, all of a sudden, one of the investigators just gets yanked backwards into the attic. And it was actually the guy holding the flashlight. And so they hear like a tumbling of the flashlight, a tumbling of the camera, and silence from this other investigator. The other investigator who's up in the attic with him that was not yanked back, he turns around and the guy's gone. And that guy, who has not been yanked suddenly, all he has is this camera. The other guy had the flashlight. So he instinctively starts clicking pictures with his camera to use the flash. Jackie and the guy on the ground, they're screaming, what's going on? And he's just clicking pictures, not looking in the viewfinder, just flashing. And he sees one of the investigator has been hoisted up into the rafters of the attic. And he's been tied to a post, and they have a picture of it.
Wow.
And so they run over, the investigator who's up there with him, he runs over, he unties him, pulls him down, and that guy's, totally freaked out. He doesn't know how he got up there. They collect their stuff and they practically fall out of the attic, and it's just pure mayhem because the guy he's freaked out, he's ashen-faced, he's got these marks on his neck like something was holding onto his neck, and they run out of the house, never to go back in. Jackie says that she's not experienced anything paranormal since this instance and swears that this was not a hoax, that in fact this is one of the lowest points of her life, and it made her look like an incompetent mother, and it makes her look crazy, and a lot of people still think she's crazy, and for her, this was just a traumatic experience that she has no explanation for. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. If there's a better explanation than ghosts, let me know in the comments. And please be sure to like and subscribe if you've not already. Also, you can check me out on Instagram. My handle's JohnBallin416. And then on TikTok, it's Mr. Ballin as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk to you next week.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one, from Mr. Ballin. To think that the two ghost hunters with the cameras went up there and basically engaged the ghost one more time. I think the ghost was kind of like, okay, I don't have no more hiding space here. So, like I said before in a different video, that ghosts are, they don't like to really be around a lot of human activity, or at least be known. They don't be known of their presence, because if you know of their presence and you continuously, are trying to make it known, they're gone. They don't want to be known. They want to just sit back and chill and watch you all day. You know what I'm saying? That's all they want to do. They just want to watch you. You know what I'm saying? They got nothing better to do. So it's like you point them out and people start going, ooh, look at that. Ghost's gone. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why he didn't want them in there. He saw the cameras. Ghost's like, no, you gotta go. Yeah. Anyway, another good one by John Baldwin. Okay. All right, guys. So thanks for joining me, Dynamics, on another episode of Boss Reactions. Definitely hit up the Cash App if you want to help the channel grow a little bit. That'll be money sign Boss Reacts, and that's with a Z, of course. Should be posted somewhere above me somewhere. I don't know. But also if you want to join our gaming channel, that's called Boss Gaming Network. That's www.bossgaming.net. You just sign up on the website, join us, become a boss in the gaming world. Anything else along with the channel, you can subscribe, like the channel, and I'll be back with another one sometime this week. Okay? And as always, boss up.